back. This is Aaron.
This is Colin.
And this is the Sports Hive Show. Woo! All right, dude. We got a lot of football. But first, I want to say thank you to everybody who has followed us and has listened to us and actually has given us some reviews. So something exciting. If you haven't followed our Instagram, we are actually now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So I know a lot of users out there like the Apple Podcast platform, so you guys can find us on there. And if you guys could go ahead and leave us a rating and a review so we can get our name out there, that'd be fantastic. So, Colin, after the third week of the NFL, what are your thoughts?
A lot to unpack because there's good teams that lost back on Sunday and yesterday. A lot of injuries, a lot of ass whoopings. A lot of one score at the last second game winners. It was a good week.
It was a good week. Did your Packers win?
You know.
What happened? Dude, they had that game won. There was like 3 minutes left. They were up by 10 points. And what the heck happened? Is it the defense fault? Is it Jordan Love throwing that pick's fault? What was it?
I feel like it was everybody because obviously Love threw that pick after we talked about it last week since he hasn't thrown one since November last year, and then, of course, he throws one on Sunday.
We put the kibosh on that.
Yeah. Kind of the announcer's jinx. And then, special teams getting the field goal blocked, the defense allowing the Browns to score 13 points in a span of 3 minutes.
Right.
And the Packers trailed on a technicality 0 seconds of that game because it was an expiring field goal kick, and they haven't trailed at all in any single game this year, and they are 2-1.
Do they feel like they're 2-1?
Probably. Kind of a nut punch if you lose to the Browns in a game that you're not supposed to.
Right.
And you're winning the whole time. Not playing your best, obviously.
Now, everybody picked the Packers to win that game out of all the games out there.
I said it last week.
Right. How many game-winning field goals were there last week or on Sunday? So there was a lot of one-score wins, one last-second game winners, a lot of defenses making plays, special teams making plays. Special teams and defenses were making themselves heard throughout the NFL this past week.
I believe you have the Browns winning over the Packers by 3, Niners winning over the Cardinals by 1.
Yes.
Chargers winning over the Broncos by 3, Buccaneers winning over the Jets by 2, and then the Eagles blocking the Rams field goal attempt and took it back to the crib and won by 6. Then the Jags won in the final minutes of their game by 7, and then the Steelers did the same thing and won by 7 against the Patriots. So 7 in total.
And that's crazy to have that many games all around the same time, making their last-second game winners, which is so much fun as an NFL fan to watch, especially when your team's on the other side of it and they're the winners and not the losers. Like the Cardinals were this past Sunday. We dropped to 2-1 and we lost to the Niners, who have like 10 injured players. Mac Jones, their backup quarterback. Like, bro, don't even get me started. Like, it's loud here in Arizona to fire Drew Petzing. Is it time, do you think, for the Cardinals to move on from Drew and find an OC that can use Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Because right now, it's the dink and dive kind of throws and runs. They're not passing it downfield a lot the last 3 games. So it just shows that 2-1 really shouldn't be our record, honestly. I think we should be 0-3. We won our first 2 games because of our defense. So what do you think? Should the Cardinals fire OC Drew Petzing or what?
How long has he been the OC?
So he was there since Jonathan Gannon's been there. I think he took over play calling last year, and it showed. And then this year's his first full year, I do believe. I'll have to backdate that. But a lot of Arizona fans are calling for his head. Not necessarily Kyler's or MSJ for his 2 massive drops, one in the end zone and one in open field. But he's not taking the shots that the Cardinals need in order to continuously win games. So do you think we move on from Drew or give him another shot? Jonathan Gannon thinks that was his best game that he's called.
Well, there's your answer. He's going to stick it out the rest of the year probably.
Which has us very, very, very nervous because we don't know what the heck is going to happen. Because there is no connection between Kyler and MSJ right now. And then we obviously lost James Conner for a season-ending injury, which is no good. So I guess we can roll into that. Injuries. There was a lot of injuries, a lot of season-ending injuries for a lot of players week 3. And there's always 1 week out of the year, 2 weeks out of the year where the players are just going down like flies, it seems like. And obviously James Conner, ankle injury, he's out for the year. What are the others?
CeeDee Lamb, high ankle sprain, out for 3 to 4 weeks. Mike Evans, hamstring, and I believe they didn't give a time frame, just out for a couple weeks. Tyrone Tracy, dislocated shoulder, expected to just miss some time, which I'm assuming is a few weeks. James Conner, the whole season. Jaden Daniels, he's day-to-day with the knee sprain. J.J. McCarthy, out for 2 to 4 weeks. I believe on top of the game he just missed. Najee Harris tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. Brock Purdy still uncertain for week 4. Joey Burrow out for a minimum of 3 months. Justin Fields in concussion protocol still. Colston Loveland has a chance to play week 4. He hurt his hip. And then Eckler obviously tore his Achilles against the Packers. And then you have Quincy Williams on the Jets, who's on IR, I believe. And then Nick Bosa tore his ACL, out for the season. On top of Kittle still being out, Ayuk still being out. And then Jaden Reed, a while back, broken collarbone, out indefinitely.
Right, no, that's a lot of injuries already just in 3 weeks. Nick Bosa is obviously a big injury right there for them. But I want to talk about the Bengals. So obviously Jake Browning the week before, he had a great showing. But with Joe Burrow out and Jake Browning playing a full game, and only putting 10 points up on the Vikings, are the Bengals dead? Are they dead without Joe Burrow? Or do they make a move at quarterback and get somebody else? Because they can't play this Jake Browning game. What do you think?
Well, I mean, if they stay... Well, it looks like Brett Ripien went in for Browning towards the end of the game, but has no stats, and he took a sack.
Makes sense.
Wonderful. Browning, 19 and 27, 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. QBR is 63. I wouldn't put all the blame on him because obviously the O-line is a bunch of preschoolers.
For sure.
So
I could think of another team that has a lot of preschoolers for an O-line, but we'll talk about them later.
But I don't think it really matters who you have a quarterback because obviously we were talking about with Burrow, he's been sacked a bajillion times in like 70, 80 games, and
I guess you're right. So, I mean, if it doesn't matter who's at quarterback, I mean, then are the Bengals dead? Are they done for the season? It doesn't matter who they put at quarterback. If they don't have an O-line, then I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, they need to make a move or something because also Chase Brown, their running back, has 47 rushing attempts and he has 96 yards.
Bro, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's super bad.
No bueno. No bueno. Not doing my fantasy team any favors.
No, not at all. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3-0 teams. You got the 3-0 Colts, 3-0 Eagles, 3-0 Bills, 3-0 Bucks, 3-0 Niners, 3-0 Chargers. Who, by your opinion, is the best 3-0 team in the league right now? Is it the Colts, the Eagles, the Bills, Baker Buccaneers, the Niners, or the Chargers? I have a 1 through 6, but I was curious what you think.
In order?
Yep. I'll say mine 1 through 6 after you give me your opinion.
Shoot. I mean, I would say the Bills are probably number 1, then the Chargers number 2, Colts 3. You could probably flip-flop those two depending on the game. Then I'd say Eagles. Then who else am I missing?
Bucks and Niners.
Then I'd say Bucks and then Niners.
Yep.
So Bills, Chargers, Colts, Eagles, Bucks, Niners.
I agree with that one 100%. That's what I have as well. So it's funny. We think alike. But yeah, I think even the Niners, through their adversity and everything, I just don't think they're going to continue being undefeated. I can see these other teams continuing to be undefeated. I mean, the Bucks, Baker and the Bucks, 3 weeks in a row, Baker has led game-winning drives. I mean, I asked last week, is Baker an elite quarterback?
I believe I said yes.
I think you did.
Well, I mean, you asked who you'd have on a game-winning drive, and then I said Baker was the first out of the options that you gave.
I mean, the Bucks, even without Mike Evans for the next couple weeks, I think are going to be totally fine without him because they got Baker in the Bucks, and they got Ekbuka out there making one-handed catches on the sideline. And Baker said, go ahead and grab it with 2 hands next time. Don't respect my ball, or don't disrespect my ball, which was just a joke, but I thought it was pretty funny. And then
Godwin might come back next week also.
Oh, that's right.
So that'll help.
I think they might be okay. And then I want to talk about that Colts team. 3-0. Is Daniel Jones and the Colts offense the best in football, or is there another team? They punted one time in 3 games.
Well, there's your answer, I think, then. I mean, probably more well-rounded than any other offense in the first 3.
What about Josh Allen and the Bills?
Well, the Bills have also had, close games. And every
Right.
single game that the Colts have had, it seems like it's been belt to ass all 3 weeks.
Yep.
So,
Kenny Moore had that pick 6 right in the beginning of the game there.
because, let me see.
Which I think is
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
pick 6 immediately.
Right. And there was a comparison between Daniel Jones and Josh Allen for the first 3 games. Did you see that comparison?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have it?
I do indeed.
Go ahead and read it off. Because the comparisons are wild. Daniel Jones versus Josh Allen. It's crazy how you can even compare these two.
So, Josh is 69 of 99. Nice. And 63 of 88 for Daniel Jones. Allen has 755 passing yards. Jones has 816. Allen has 7 total touchdowns. Jones has 6. Allen's QBR is 81.3. Then Jones's QBR is 80.8. And they both have no interceptions or fumbles, I believe.
And both 3-0 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones out there looking like Indiana. That's his new nickname now. So after week 3, what of one of these 6 teams are going to be the last undefeated team, you think?
Let me see next week's schedule.
Because you got the Colts, the Eagles, the Bills, the Bucks, the Niners, and the Chargers still undefeated. Who is going to be the last one that's undefeated?
Well, Bills are going 4-0. They play the Saints. Chargers play the Giants, so they possibly go 4-0. The Bucks and the Eagles play next week.
Okay.
So someone got to go 3-1.
Yep.
And then the Colts and the Rams play each other. Well, the Bills have the best chance to go 4-0.
Who do the Niners play next week? I forget their
Jags.
schedule. The Jags. It's possible. I mean, Brock Purdy might come back. So they could theoretically go 4-0, but I don't know. That game's a toss-up, but yeah, I think you're right. Bills and Chargers are going to go 4-0. And then
I think the Bucks might squeak one out and win that game, go 4-0, Eagles 3-1. It's in Tampa Bay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Baker and the Bucks beat the Eagles.
And Colts in LA against the Rams.
And they almost beat the Eagles. But Jalen Hurts and Brown decided to show up and play some football. All right. And then we got your 2-1 teams, which are the Cardinals, the Packers, the Jags, the Vikings, the Bengals, Rams, Seattle, Steelers, Lions, and the Commanders. Who's the best 2-1 team? Biasness aside. Unless it is truthfully the Packers. I see 2 other names on here, or 2 other teams on here that it could be the better 2-1s that could compete with the Packers. Because the Packers could easily be 3-0. They just had a couple mistakes at the end there.
Well, the other 2 teams would probably be the Lions or the Commanders as the other best 2-1 teams. But then by that standpoint, their 1 losses are the Packers' 2 wins. So then you'd make the Packers the best 2-1 team.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue the Vikings. Just because of their defensive stance that they had against the Bengals. They won 48-10, and they had two touchdowns, three forced fumbles, and two picks. I know Isaiah Rodgers, if you see the play, totally punched 2 footballs out. One he grabbed, and another one his other defensive player grabbed. It was something crazy wild stat like that.
Yeah, the Vikings had 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 touchdowns.
Which is insane.
And Isaiah Rodgers has the highest overall PFF grade in NFL history. He was a 99.9, which is perfect.
Pretty much 100%.
Muy bueno. He had a pick 6, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 forced incompletion.
Did you see his pick 6 was obviously really cool, but did you see the strip fumble recovery that he had and picked up to the house? Did you see that play?
Mm-mm.
So it was crazy. Even the cameraman lost him. So I can't remember who the player was. It might have been Chase Brown. It might have been a receiver. But Isaiah Rodgers and a couple other Vikings players went to go tackle him, and Isaiah Rodgers punched the ball out, and the ball fell backwards through the group, and he sat on it. Like the ball came underneath him, and he kind of just picked it up like a baby, and nobody saw, not even his players saw, and not even the cameraman. And then all of a sudden he jumps up, and he has the ball. Everybody notices he has the ball, but it was too late. He was already running into the end zone, which is a cool play to watch if you haven't seen it. Definitely look up the highlights. I thought it was a pretty cool play.
I'll definitely have to look it up.
Do it. And then let's talk about the Giants and Chiefs game, the Sunday night game.
And that little stinker.
Right. What did you think about that game?
See, they both didn't play their best ball.
Definitely not.
Not really an exciting game. And Mahomes was 22-37, 224, one touchdown. Then obviously Wilson didn't play his best because he just got benched. He was 18-32, 160 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked twice, QBR of 43.
Bro, that sucks. Dude, what happened with that? So week 1, he sucks, right? Week 2, MVP candidate. Week 3, he sucks again. And now he is on the bench. I'm going to be behind, honestly, it should be just third in depth and be behind Jameis Winston at this point. Jackson Dart era has started in New York.
I think I might have said that Dart was going to start by week 4.
I think you did. Honestly, I think you did. If we look back at episode 1, I think you mentioned that Dart would start early this season, week 4 to week 6. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that when the news dropped. I was like, man, Colin's right. So now you got Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss. And then with Tracy's dislocated arm, you got Cam Scattaboo, rookie running back from ASU here locally, starting as well. So you got 2 rookies and a fresh start. And the 0-3 team, who does New York play?
I just said it. Now I'm going to go back and look. One of the 3-0 teams is who they play.
Right. I think you said the Chargers, if I remember right.
Yes. And they're in New York.
So the Chargers, oh, man, that's going to be... I know the Giants have, like, the toughest schedule this year, and they're throwing this new rookie, this new kid, into the fire.
But obviously the Chargers don't have 3 of their stronger players that they had last year. Asante Samuel, because they just... didn't sign him back. Joey Bosa's gone, obviously. And then Mac being hurt also, which I didn't say that earlier.
That's right. How long is Mac out for? Do you know?
He's on IR, so it's automatically 4 weeks.
Automatically 4, and that was starting last week. So could the Giants pull it off? Being in New York, could the Giants actually beat the Chargers? Bro, because you got Jackson Dart, who's a great quarterback. If you ever watched Ole Miss tapes or Ole Miss games, he was great. And then you got Cam Scattaboo, the Pookie Bear from ASU, the guy who just trucks people when he has the football and when he's blocking as well. Honestly, when Tracy comes back, I think Cam Scattaboo should still be RB1. I think he's that good.
I mean, it's certainly possible for them to, because I think the Giants might have a better defense than the Chargers, but the Chargers' offense is obviously better.
Right. I agree with that stance. It'll
probably be a 1-score game.
I mean, you contained Mahomes for the most part. It was a field goal fest for that game for a little bit, and then they started scoring, but got to be proud of that. Are the Chiefs... Well, the Chiefs and the Ravens play next week. We'll talk about the Raven game in a minute. But are the Chiefs dead? They're 1-2, and they have not looked good over 3 weeks, in my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, no.
And I know we talked about it last week because the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and you have to talk about the Chiefs regardless.
Yeah, not really.
And I asked if the Chiefs were dead last week. Are they still dead, even though they beat the Giants? I mean, did they win just because it was the Giants? Because they weren't playing that well the first half of the game. What are your thoughts on that?
I think when we were looking at their schedule last week, I think we had said that they were going to pick up their first win this week.
Right.
Then lose to Baltimore, then beat the Jags the following week. So then they'd go 2-3, and then by their bye week in week 10, I could see them 3-6 still.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Losing to Buffalo in week 9, losing to Washington in week 8, winning against Vegas in week 7, losing to Detroit in week 6, winning against Jags in week 5, and then losing to Baltimore in week 4.
Yeah, no, it's not an easy road for them for sure.
Good.
So I guess obviously the Chiefs beat the Giants. The Giants have an upward outlook to their next games, even though they have a gauntlet of a schedule. I think they're in the right direction because Russell Wilson, besides week 2, he looked really good. He was just connecting with his wide receivers. But you're also playing Dallas defense as well, which is historically never really that great. And then the Chiefs have the Ravens next, which the Ravens, is there trouble in Baltimore? It's King Henry is now Prince Henry. He has a fumble in each of his games, all in the fourth quarter, and they were actually very detrimental to them because they should really be at least 2-1, not 3-0. And then Mark Andrews, King Andrews is back, or is he not? Tell me your thoughts of that Ravens-Lions game yesterday. Should we have a moment of silence because our sister asked for it?
Yep, starting in 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's all they get because that online is trash.
Yes, well, everybody has been kind of cheeks as of late. Lamar's just not playing his best.
No.
At least last night he wasn't. And Henry to have a fumble a game is not good. Andrews has been wishy-washy for the past couple years.
And he finally had like
And
a breakout moment again.
Yeah, he's had his flashes because he's good. Zay's always good, but Zay didn't have really any targets until like the fourth quarter, I believe. And then the defense is still.
I think it's garbage. I think it's garbage. They got a lot of work to do on that defensive side because when you're scoring 30-plus points each game and you're 1-2 right now, you got issues on the defensive side of the ball, for sure. Even if Henry is fumbling once a game in the fourth quarter of all 3 of those games, like, that's trash. And then I know some of the sacks yesterday weren't completely on the O-line. Lamar held the ball a lot longer than he should have in most cases, and he wasn't able to get out of the jams like he usually can. They were swallowing him up like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the offensive line that allowed most of those, probably about 5 of them. 2 of them were probably his fault. Then the Ravens defense only has 3 sacks over 3 games and 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, 1 touchdown, 1 blocked kick.
In 3 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much right there, just showing you that we suck.
And that win was against the Browns that they have right now, which obviously the Packers couldn't do it, but...
And that Browns defensive line is probably the best in football right now because they held Henry to 11 carries for 23 yards the week prior. And then, they're arguably one of the best defensive lines in football.
Like, they sacked Burrow 3 times week 1. They sacked Lamar 3 times week 2. Sacked my love 5 times.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
5 times.
I did. And then picked them off and then had the block kick. So they had their best game against Green Bay because it was also in Cleveland. But Myles Garrett, I believe, has like 109 or 106 sacks already, and he's like 28 or 29. The only person ahead of him at like that age in like history is Reggie White.
Right.
So I think Garrett's at 106, Reggie White's at 109, which is very good company to be in.
100%. How many rushing yards did they allow against the Packers? Because it was under 100 for the Ravens. Definitely only gave Henry 23, but I can't account for Lamar and what he ran for. But I can't remember how many rushing yards Josh Jacobs had. I don't know if he was even like a threat in fantasy this past week. But
82 yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In total of just...
And just rushing in total?
Of culmination, yeah. Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson, Jordan Love, Matthew Golden, Savion Williams. So 82 yards amongst 5 people.
Yeah.
Granted, backup running back, quarterback, 2 wide receivers. So...
Right. And we might have to watch out for the Browns there. I mean, the Ravens have a chance to go 1-3 if the Chiefs ended up beating them. I mean, one of those 2 teams is going 1-3, and both of those teams are going to still be called contenders just because they're the Chiefs and the Ravens. But I think both those teams right now, honestly, the Ravens and the Chiefs, there's trouble on those teams.
It's in Kansas City, but Baltimore is at a -2.5, which means they're favored by less than a field goal.
Wow. I wonder if Taylor Swift's going to be there since it's in Arrowhead.
No, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully Travis Kelce scores some touchdowns because you know all those Swiftie fans.
Yeah, it'd be cool if Xavier Worthy came back.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I say it every week. I'll say it
I know
every
there's a lot of
single-
NFL fans that really care about Taylor Swift showing up to games. Are you one of them?
No, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. Love everything about him.
The Lions, though. I mean, we got to talk about the Lions. Did they put up 225 rushing yards against that Ravens defense last night with Montgomery and Gibbs both going off? So are the Lions a bigger threat than we thought? The Lions are the Lions, the brand new Lions.
Well, who was their other win against?
Shoot, they destroyed. Who did they end up beating? It was like 52 to something crazy in week 2.
Oh, the Bears.
The Bears, that's right. So you got the Bears and the
They
Ravens.
lose to the Packers, win against the Bears, win against the Ravens.
Makes sense because the Packers, I think, have one of the better defenses, and overall, at least, Browns definitely right now over 3 weeks have the best defensive line. But as the best defense, I think the Packers are more well-rounded. The Vikings had one great game, and that's really due to Isaiah Rodgers, in my opinion.
Also the Bengals offensive line.
And the Bengals offensive lines. So I still deem the Packers as the best defense overall in the league, but everybody has their games, obviously, where they suck and don't suck.
Yeah, the rushing yards for Detroit, Montgomery had 151, Gibbs had 67, and then Goff, running wild, he had 6 yards. Yeah, Jared Goff.
Goff.
So that's why Aikman calls him, and he called him that every single time.
I think that's super funny.
Yeah, so 224 yards off 38 carries. He averaged 5.9 yards and had 4 touchdowns.
So you're saying it worked?
The rushing yards?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, when you average 5.9, why throw it?
And Goff still threw for 202. 20 and 28, only had 1 touchdown, though. QBR 72.
to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown, 7 catches, 77 yards, 1 touchdown.
I saw a stat today going through social media because that's what I like to do, where I get all my news and such. Not really. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, Gibbs, and Montgomery have all scored at least 1 touchdown in 10 games they played together. And that hasn't happened in a trio like that before, apparently, from what I saw on social media.
So there's 10 games where they all 3 scored?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, that checks out.
Right. So do the Lions have the best backfield tandem still in Montgomery and Gibbs?
Let's see who else would even compete.
I don't think there is another team that really competes because you got.
I mean, although the Texans are 0-3, once Mixon comes back, you have Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb.
Which history has taught us that they're really good backs, but are they still good backs?
Yeah, they're obviously a lot older.
And then the Bucks have Bucky Irving and Rashad White.
Niners have CMC, and then
I couldn't even recall their backup.
It was Eli Mitchell and or Jordan Mason, but I believe they're both gone.
I know.
Oh, Brian Robinson Jr.
That's right.
I traded for him.
That's right.
The Rams, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum.
Blake Corum was a stud in college.
He's getting some carries now.
Good.
Then
I love seeing him play.
Yeah, I can't really think of a tandem that's better than Gibbs and Monty.
Yeah, I can't either.
Because, I mean, the Eagles have Saquon and then A.J. Dillon, but A.J. Dillon doesn't really play that much anymore because of it just being Saquon.
Just feed the ball to Saquon.
Yeah, now that I say that, Saquon's probably going to die on the field on Sunday, so and then ruin my fantasy team again. So
yeah, Colin's not really happy about fantasy this past week. I mean, in our family league, I beat him by 45 points.
All right, chill out, dude. You know, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, all right?
Yeah, but he's happy though. Oh man, so a lot of games, obviously. Who's the best 3-0 or 0-3 team? So the best are the 0-3 teams that haven't won a game are the Jets, the Dolphins, the Texans, the Titans, the Giants, and the Saints. Who is the best 0-3 team? And who is just the worst team overall? They're just pathetic to watch.
The Jets probably pathetic to watch, I'd say. I mean, or the Saints.
I was going to say the Saints. The Jets have at least
Saints
put
probably,
up games.
The Jets
points.
The Jets lost by 2 against the Steelers in week 1, and then Justin Fields has been out since. So they still have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen.
And they almost beat the Bucks, but then you leave Baker with 1:49. So
then I'd say either the Saints or the Titans as the worst 0-3 team. The best 0-3 team would either be the Jets or the Texans, because the Texans can still be good.
Not the Giants.
Middle of the pack.
I'm surprised that the Texans are 0-3, honestly, with C.J. Stroud. He has not been playing great at all at the beginning of this season. It's kind of
or even last year, too.
Right. I mean, he had his rookie. This is his third year. His rookie year was his best year, and then he just had like a fall off. But he has a serious fall off this year. So I don't know. I don't know about the Texans, honestly. Like, if C.J. Stroud can't get right, I don't see that team getting right. But with the Giants, they made their move, benching Russell Wilson, starting Jackson Dart now. I think they could end up being the best 0-3 team. Saints are trash. I mean, the Seahawks put 28 points in the first quarter on them, which is insane. I don't see them winning a game at all this year. The Jets will start winning. The Dolphins have to start winning. But, I mean, they could also be one of those teams that has a late first win, because I just don't think McDaniels is the guy there anymore. I think they got to...
That's what I said last week.
Right. I think he's done, or should be done.
Well, I mean, there's 2 matchups where it's 0-3 teams. It's the Jets against the Dolphins in Miami, and then...
Wait, the Jets and the Dolphins play each other this next weekend?
Yeah. It's
is that one of the Monday night games?
Yeah, it's Monday Night Football. Yeah. Exhilarating.
Somebody's got to win. That's crazy.
I watch paint dry.
I'd rather hear my kids scream all day long like they did today.
Well, I don't know about that one, Chief. And then there's... Titans and Texans in Houston, so somebody got to win that game. Or they don't. They could just all 4 tie, and they're just 0-3-1.
That could be it as well. I think the Jets probably end up taking that game. I just don't think the Dolphins have it anymore.
If Fields plays.
Yeah, but even if. I mean, Tyrod Taylor played for the Jets this past week against the Bucks, right? And almost won that game. Well, yeah, even because their special teams had a touchdown at the end there.
Yeah.
To take the lead. But, yeah, so sorry, bro. I got something in my eye over here. I'm crying.
You're good. I get it. I get it. Then Cam Ward could get his first W as a pro and for the Titans against the Texans.
Oh, the Titans and Texans play this weekend?
Yeah, I said that like 37 seconds ago.
Sorry, I was rubbing my eye. I'm crying over here for some reason. I don't know why. So the Texans and Titans obviously play, so one of those teams has to win. Jets and Dolphins, one of those has to win. Might as well just pair the Giants and the Saints up. See if one of those has to win, so we're left with 3-0-3 teams. That'd be cool. But I think the best 0-3 team right now that have the most upswing to change anything are the Giants. Just because I'm biased with Cam Scatterboo, and I hate how the Cardinals skipped out on him for a defensive player, because we could really use a running back like him right now with James Conner going down. But Cam Scatterboo, he's going to make some noise in New York. That's for sure. All right. Let's look ahead to the matchups. So we got the Seahawks and the Cardinals on Thursday, which we're actually doing something really cool. So we have, obviously, as we go on with these episodes and sports and things like that, we're going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk about basketball season coming up. You got October baseball around the corner, which is the best time to be alive when you're a baseball fan, especially if your team is in it. I'm a huge Diamondback fan. Our sister's a huge Oriole fan, so they're already out of it. So she's just sitting pretty without any nerves and hopes being dashed.
Typical.
Right. Right. So the Diamondbacks, they're one game out from the last wild card spot. They're fighting the Reds and they're fighting the Mets right now for the last spot. But on Thursday, we have a cool chance to go to the Diamondbacks game in the afternoon against the Dodgers. And then that night,
The Dodgers.
the Seahawks and the Cardinals play here at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, and we're going to that game as well. So we get to go to 2 major sports games in one day. How do you feel about that? That's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be rough if they both lose, though.
I sure hope they both don't lose, bro. I'm going to be crying on the way home if they both of them lose. I can tell you that much. We got those nosebleeder seats, so we'll post pictures and videos on our Instagram if you want to go ahead and follow us on our Instagram page, the Sports Hive Show. But Seahawks Cardinals this Thursday. Who do you got? It's okay if you don't say the Cardinals. I get it. I'm scared for this matchup, honestly.
Well, Seattle's favored by 1.5. The over/under is 43 points, so that's not too high for two teams.
And that game is here too, dang.
It's tough because obviously,
I don't know what Trey Benson is going to get the most reps
yes,
for our running back right now, with James Conner being out. And then we have some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, especially in our backfield. I need to look at that injury report when it comes out on Thursday.
They're kind of like stacked up somewhat comparable.
Evenly?
I mean, Murray has 542 yards. Darnold has 663. He's got 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Murray has 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Kenneth Walker, 163 rushing yards. Benson, 125. And Jigba, 323 receiving yards. McBride, 182. So that's quite the spread. Injury report, Kelvin Beachum did not practice. James Conner obviously didn't practice. Davis Gaylord participated. Your offensive lineman Brown participated. Will Hernandez, Will Johnson, and Paris Johnson. Oh, my bad. Paris Johnson did participate. Will Hernandez didn't.
You're solid.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Will Hernandez, he participated.
Okay.
Johnson did not participate. Paris Johnson did participate.
Okay, so you're talking Will Johnson didn't participate, our new rookie cornerback.
Yeah.
But our left tackle, our offensive line, Paris Johnson did participate. Good. We need him back. He's the best guy on our line.
And then, so out of your 3 offensive linemen that are hurt, 2 of them participated, 1 did not.
That's a good sign.
And then,
because Paris Johnson is a big man.
And anybody that was hurt for the Seahawks was in full participation in their practice as of today. So
who do you think edges it out? Because the Cardinals love not blowing people out, and they love making it anxiously and obnoxiously not winning or losing until the very end. So I think this is going to be within 3 points, in my opinion.
Yeah, the spread's 1.5, so it makes sense. I think probably the Seahawks might edge it out just because their offense, I think, is better because they still have they have Charbonnet and Walker together in the backfield. They have Darnold.
JSN.
Probably have a better offensive line. Yeah, they have JSN. They have Cup. They have
I'm always scared when we play the Seahawks.
Losing my marbles over here.
No, you're good. No, I'm scared. I think it'll be like 24-21 Cardinals at the end, just because I know they had a rough go against the Niners, and they should have had that game won. If Zay Jones had caught that ball, then I think we would be sitting at 3-0 right now and having a different conversation, but we're 2-1. But I think we could edge out the Cardinals. I mean, not the Cardinals. We can edge out the Seahawks.
Yeah, it'll be a close game. I don't probably a game-winning field goal-ish or a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
Under 10 points for sure. Probably like 6 or 9.
Yeah, No, it's going to be a good day, though. We'll go to that Diamondbacks game, and then we'll go to that Cardinal game. And then Sunday night, you got the most anticipated game of, I think, the early season right now, the Packers and the Cowboys in Dallas. So you got Micah Parsons traded from Dallas to the Packers, which is probably a top 10 trade that the Cowboys got fleeced on. Jerry Jones didn't want to pay Micah Parsons for some reason, and now they're hurting for sure not having Micah Parsons on that line. But now he's a Packer coming back to Dallas. Who do you got?
The Packers by a mile.
By a million?
Yeah, because the Cowboys also just got blown out by the Bears.
Yeah.
So, also Matt Eberflus was the coach of the Bears, and then he couldn't win with Caleb Williams. And then Matt Eberflus went over to the coaching staff of the Cowboys,
Got destroyed.
Bent over and spanked by Williams. So, I thought that was funny.
That's super funny. Because Caleb Williams lighted up for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. And a couple hundred yards. I think because the Cowboys, they have less playoff wins at AT&T Stadium than the Packers do. The Packers, I think, have like 3 or 4, and the Cowboys have like 1 or 2.
That's crazy.
And
can you find those 1 or 2 wins VHS, or can you find them on YouTube?
Black and white.
Black and white. The black and white version. Like those VHSs, those little box you put inside another little box to play, and it winds the
Put
tape.
it inside the VCR, dude.
Yeah, the VCR thing. I don't think some of our listeners would know what a VHS is or a VCR.
Maybe.
Trying to teach them.
We'll see. But I don't remember losing to the Cowboys as of late. Because when we played last year in the playoffs, it was a mutilation. I think it was like...
The Cowboys are just not good.
48-32. But some of that was like garbage time touchdowns for
Right.
them. Because it's 27-7 at half at that point in time. It was a wild card weekend. Love had 3 touchdowns, 272. Aaron Jones had 3 touchdowns, 118.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, he always plays good against Dallas. But now he's on the Vikings, so womp womp. And then Prescott had 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. CeeDee Lamb not playing is going to be also very important. They have George Pickens, though. Ferguson.
He had a touchdown this past game, and Ferguson's been lining it up, too. I think he's one of the better tight ends.
And Javonte Williams at running back.
But even Javonte Williams, he had that like 20-yard dash run to the sideline this past game.
Dash.
Yeah, dash run to the sideline, and then he got stripped by the Bears DB before he got out of bounds, which is insane. And the Bears recovered that ball, obviously, which I thought was pretty funny. I started laughing when I was watching that highlight. But yeah, I think the Packers win by a million. I think it's going to be like 34-12, 14, something crazy like that. I don't think it's going to be very competitive.
Well, Dak has 800 passing yards. Love has 663. A 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio for Jordan. 3-3 for Prescott.
He threw 2 of those picks yesterday. That's funny.
Or 2 days ago. Then receiving leaders, Lamb, 222 yards, no touchdowns on the year. Kraft, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they both have no active injuries at this time.
Not until that game on Sunday.
So that team, well, except for CeeDee Lamb. I don't know why it says that. But so CeeDee Lamb is out, obviously. But other than that, it looks like everybody else is completely healthy. Parsons today, I think, in an interview was like, oh, what's it going to be like when you sack Dak? And he said it's going to be really sad. And then Jerry Jones said he wasn't going to do a video tribute for Micah Parsons, which rightfully so. Micah didn't really, win anything there.
No. He just became an all-star caliber player is all.
Yeah, and the Packers have statistically a worse offense as opposed to the Cowboys do, but they have a way better defense. Cowboys are ranked 10th in points per game. Packers are 18th. Cowboys 4th in yards per game. Packers are 21st. But then the Packers have 10 sacks on the year. The Cowboys have 4, and then they have 1 pick, and then the Packers have 2.
It could come down to the defenses.
Well, the defense Packers win by a mile.
Right.
But then, I don't know. It should be a good one. I don't think it's going to be like a mutilate. Well,
not belt to ass.
No.
I think it'd be closer just because of the primetime game in Dallas.
Yeah, but then they also have a lot more to prove for losing to the Browns on Sunday. So
I think they come out angry, and I think Micah comes out to prove himself, not only to Packer fans, but also to Jerry Jones. Just, hey, bro, look what you didn't pay. Like, I'm gonna get 2 sacks on Dak.
Because the Packers really should be 3-0.
I agree with that statement right there.
And then
they just had 1 or 2 many mistakes.
And the Cowgirls, they're 1-2, and their one win was Oh, goodness.
Was it against the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Against,
That was that back and forth,
yeah.
like 40-37.
Yeah, so the Cowboys are also like, they just get a lot of yards and they score a lot, but they don't win.
Right. Just seemed like the Ravens.
Kind of like the Bengals last year, though, too. They score a lot,
Right.
but then their defense isn't good enough to hold the team to
Do
below
anything.
their score.
Right.
So that could, had we not lost to the Browns last week, I would be super confident in saying that this would be an ass whooping. But I'm taking everything with a grain of salt because
Okay.
I started to get my hopes
Fair.
up. So
That's fair. I think the Packers. I'll be your hope. I think the Packers destroy them 34-14 with the defense getting a tud because that seems to be the trend right now this past week. Yeah, I guess both of our teams play primetime games this weekend, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, the better primetime games.
Right. And then Monday Night Football, you got the
Doubleheader.
0-3 Jets and the 0-3 Dolphins versus the crappy Bengals versus the Broncos team that actually is good.
Is good, but has a 1-2 record.
Right. I think they're figuring it out. I think the Broncos can be a threat in that division. For me, Jets over Dolphins, Broncos over Bengals.
Same.
That's how I'm going to put it.
I concur.
But, I mean, I don't think we need to talk about these games all that much, honestly. I think we've already talked about them long enough. All right. I got my start, bench, cut game. You ready? So I still have a quarterback section, a running back section, that wide receiver section, tight end section, and the defense section. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks. Start, bench, cut. Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert. Who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting?
I'll probably start Herbert and bench Baker and cut Jones.
Okay. Running backs. Start, bench, cut. Scattaboo, Chase Brown, Javonte Williams. Who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting?
Just right now, I'd probably cut Brown just because he can't get nothing going, but not his fault.
Right.
Scatteroo probably start, and then Williams bench.
Love it. Wide receivers. You got Cortland Sutton, Puka Nakua, and JSN. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I'll start Puka, bench, and Jigba, and cut Sutton.
All right. Tight ends. Hunter Henry, Mark Andrews, Ferguson. Who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting?
Probably start Ferguson, bench Andrews, and cut Henry.
And Henry had a 2-touchdown game
Yeah,
this past
but
weekend.
only like 30 or 40 receiving yards. So, I mean,
Right. Drake May obviously likes Hunter Henry. All right. Defenses. Who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting? Vikings defense, Colts defense, or the Steelers defense? Who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting?
I'll probably start the Steelers defense, bench the Colts, cut the Vikings.
All right. I also have here a QB ranking. I can't remember who it was by that ranked QBs 1 through 12. Did you see that stat?
Mm-mm.
So here's the QB ranking. I want to see if you agree with this one.
Probably not.
So I'm going to start backwards from QB 12. J.J. McCarthy at 12. Justin Fields at 11. Bo Nix at 10. Brock Purdy at 9. Kyler Murray at 8. Mayfield at 7. Mahomes at 6. Burrow at 5. Jaden Daniels at 4. Jalen Hurts at 3. Lamar Jackson at 2. And Josh Allen at 1. Those are the 1 through 12s. And there's a quarterback that is notably not on that list.
Yeah.
That I think should be.
There is.
So who are they missing?
There is. That's interesting.
I figured you would love that stat.
Yeah, no, wonderful. I could take about 7 of those quarterbacks away and put Love in there, obviously over like most of them.
I agree.
Except for like, obviously Allen should be up there, Burrow should be up there, Lamar up there.
And it has, the top 5 are Allen, Jackson, Hurts, Daniels, and Burrow. And then Mahomes at 6. Baker at 7. I can't remember where I saw this. I saw this it was on TikTok. So you can't really trust anything on TikTok.
No. A bunch of dummies out there. Mahomes hasn't even been playing good. He's
just on the list because he's Patrick Mahomes and he's won Super Bowls.
Ride his wiener all the time.
Yep.
And then just gross. He's not even top 15 in my opinion right now.
I agree with that. Who's the best quarterback? Do you agree with Josh Allen being number one? Or should it be somebody else after 3 weeks of football?
Well, it's kind of hard to look at because, I mean, when you look at the quarterback, you also look at the record of the team. And Josh Allen, out of the 3-0 teams left, he's the best quarterback on said teams. So Josh should be up there. Jalen, he hasn't even been playing his best either. Burrow obviously shouldn't still be there because he's hurt. So if we're going to go off performance this year, he should not even be in the top 12 just because he's hurt.
I agree with that.
Jaden Daniels, he's missed a game, and then he got...
he didn't even get going against the Packers.
So he's got one good week. So technically he shouldn't be up there just based off of performance this year.
Right. And the same with J.J. McCarthy.
And McCarthy should not be up there whatsoever.
Right.
He
hasn't
missed
proved
this last
anything.
game, and no.
Right. I just thought it was funny.
Send me the list real quick. Send it to me. But there's like I would put Rodgers is still doing good. Darnold's doing good. Goff is doing good. Who else? Who else am I missing?
There's a lot of good quarterbacks right now, but I would deem Josh Allen number one quarterback in the league right now. And then if you're going to argue stats as well, Daniel Jones has to be up there.
Yeah, Jones. If Jones has almost the same exact stats as Allen does.
Yeah, it's got to be Josh Allen number one right now, Daniel Jones number two right now.
And then followed by Lamar.
Yep.
Then I would say
Baker, honestly.
Herbert's not on there.
You are correct. Herbert is not. So Herbert is then Baker. I think Herbert's the better quarterback.
And then Love would have to be there. I wouldn't keep McCarthy, Fields, Purdy,
Murray even,
Mahomes, Burrow. So I'd take out like half that list. And then probably add like Herbert, Rodgers, Darnold, Love. So obviously this is not a credible source. This
definitely
dude's
not. I mean,
stupid.
there's no credible source on TikTok. Nothing. It's just to melt your brain away.
Well, yeah, this dude's TikTok name is Chuck Wumeka. So I don't think that's very credible.
No. So who are your top 5 quarterbacks after week 3? Without stats, who do you think are the top 5
Just
quarterbacks?
best performances, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of hard to not look at stats if you're asking for a top 5.
Let's just look at wins.
Wins, it had to be Allen and the Bills because they played the harder teams already that they had to play in the rest of their schedule, which I didn't know until Shannon said something, that their schedule's a cakewalk after this, and they have like 1 or 2 hard games, maybe.
So they should theoretically go undefeated, but every team has those weeks where they just aren't clicking. So,
but then I'd still say the Bills are number 1 right now. Well, not the Bills, but Allen. Who else is then probably Herbert? Not Herbert. So Allen, Jones, Herbert.
What about Jalen?
But Jalen Hurts hasn't. He had his best game so far this year back on Sunday.
Yeah, and that was only the second half of that game.
Exactly. So you could put him up there at number 4, and then Baker at 5, or Baker at 4, Jalen at 5.
Yep, those are the 5 quarterbacks I was literally thinking of too.
And then like Love would probably be at like 6.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have to play his best, and he hasn't. But the Packers are still one dumbass
play away,
field goal away from being 3-0, and him not being the better version of himself.
Right. All right. So yeah, the top 5 quarterbacks in passing yards right now is Justin Herbert at 1 with 860, Geno Smith of the Las Vegas Raiders at 831, Daniel Jones at 816, Dak at 800, and Drake May at 785.
That's crazy. Geno also has about 831 passing yards to the opposing defensive backs.
Yep.
So
I was thinking that too. All right. So let's go ahead and do a rapid fire, I guess is week 4 predictions. So starting with Thursday Night Football, Seahawks, Cardinals. So you got
Seahawks.
Commanders, Falcons.
Commanders.
Vikings, Steelers.
Steelers.
Chargers, Giants.
Chargers.
Titans, Texans.
Texans.
Eagles, Bucks.
Bucks.
Panthers, Patriots.
Patriots.
Man, that's going to be a crap game. Saints, Bills.
Bills.
Browns, Lions.
Lions.
Jags, Niners.
Niners.
Colts, Rams.
Colts.
Bears, Raiders.
Sheesh. Raiders.
Ravens, Chiefs.
Ravens.
Packers, Cowboys.
Packers.
Jets, Dolphins.
Jets.
Bengals, Broncos.
Broncos.
Love it. So, yeah, I got the Cardinals over the Seahawks. I'm gonna pick. I think the Vikings Steelers game is that the one that's gonna be in Dublin, or is that next week's?
No, that's at 6:30 a.m.
So
Sunday
yeah, that's the
morning.
one in Dublin.
So
So
I will be missing that game.
you're not gonna wake up at 6:30 to watch it?
Not to watch those two teams.
No.
Watch highlights, dude.
I'm gonna go Vikings over the Steelers, and then I got the Commanders over the Falcons, the Chargers over the Giants. I am gonna pick. This is the crap game, Titans over the Texans, but I'm going to pick the Titans to win their first game with Cam Ward. Bucks over Eagles. I got the Patriots over the Panthers, Bills over the Saints, Lions over the Browns, Niners over the Jags, Colts over the Rams, Bears over the Raiders, and then I'm going to pick the Ravens over the Chiefs, Packers over the Cowboys, Jets over the Dolphins, Broncos over the Bengals. So we'll see next week.
Like 2 or 3 different ones.
Yeah. We'll see what's
Also-
up. We'll see if King Henry, Prince Henry now, as I call him,
Squire.
Squire Henry, fumbles again in the fourth quarter of that game. Because once he fumbles in the fourth quarter, then it could be a Chief dub. Who knows?
We'll
One of
see.
them teams has to go 1-3.
One of them probably still going to make playoffs.
Right.
Well, the Ravens have a better chance because they're in now a worse division. So
Dude, do you know who the best division is?
probably yours.
Yep. The
Yep.
NFC West, baby.
Yeah,
Got the
Niners.
San Francisco Giants. Yeah, I'm thinking of baseball right now. The San Francisco Niners at 3-0, which I think they're pretenders. The Rams 2-1, Arizona 2-1, Seattle 2-1. So obviously that's going to change up when Arizona plays Seattle this week. See what's up. But yeah, only 3 losses in that division. We're the best.
And then Packers 2-1, Lions 2-1, Vikings 2-1, Bears 1-2. So then
They're probably the second best division.
5 losses.
Then NFC South division is probably booty. We got the Bucks at 3-0.
And then AFC East combined 4 wins, 8 losses. AFC North 6 wins, 6 losses. AFC South 5 wins, 7 losses. AFC West 6 wins, 6 losses. NFC East 6 wins, 6 losses. NFC North 7 wins, 5 losses. NFC South 5 wins, 7 losses.
Yeah.
NFC West 9 wins, 3 losses.
Yeah, so, yep. The NFC South is the worst. And the Baker Buccaneers are going to run away with that division. They're just going to clean house. Saints, Falcons, and Panthers is just bottom of the barrel.
And then, right quick, you did the top 5 in passing yards, and I have the top 5 in every other stat.
Sweet.
Rushing yards, Jonathan Taylor at 338.
That's what's up.
James Cook at 284. Travis Etienne Jr. at 270. Derrick Henry at 242. Then Bijan Robinson at 239. Then receiving, Puka at 333. And Jigba at 323. Ricky Purcell
Really?
squeaked in there, 281. Malik Neighbors at 251. Jamar Chase at 241. Then the defensive leaders for tackles, Okereke on the Giants.
Okereke.
He's got 34. Dotson on the Dolphins, 33. Bobby Wagner on Washington, 32. Roquan Smith on the Ravens, 32. Then Demario Davis and Quay Walker on the Saints and Packers, tied at 31. Then sack leaders, Rashawn Gary on the Packers, 4.5. Myles Garrett on the Browns, 4. Brian Burns on the Giants, 4. Byron Young on the Rams, 4. Then Al-Quadin Muhammad on the Lions at 3.5. And then interception leaders, Lewis on the Jags at 2. Edmonds on the Bears at 2. Bynum on the Vikings at 2. Not Vikings, my bad. He was there. Colts at 2. Kendrick on the Seahawks at 2. And then Battle on the Bengals at 2. So you got 5 people tied for first.
I love it. And I think Edmonds had both those picks against the Cowboys.
That'd be
Against
sweet.
Dak. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. Those are some sweet stats right there. You got any others?
Let me see.
As you're looking, we didn't even talk about the Commander game. Did you see that no-call touchdown?
No, I saw you
With
text
Terry
your cousin
McLaurin.
about it.
Yeah, dude. No, he scored, but they're saying he was down before the end zone. There was no part of his legs that was down before the ball crossed the plane. It's blatant. And that was a touchdown for sure. And then McNichols had an amazing run. He broke like 4 or 5 tackles and had a touchdown run. Pretty sure it was a touchdown. I think it was like 60 yards. But yeah, no, the Commanders look good without Jaden Daniels and with Marcus Mariota right there. So they should take their time on healing JD5 to the best. But are you looking up at that play right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a touchdown.
That was a long touchdown, too.
Yeah.
Should have been. But they marked him short.
They marked
Probably
him
like
short
at
on the 1.
1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was nuts. Figured we'd get the the Commanders a honorable mention there because they took care of business.
Or against the
sure.
Raiders.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up unless you got something else you want to mention real fast.
I do not think so. Just weird signings, weird cuts, but, I mean, none of them that are significant.
Right. Cool. So, yeah, we'll be at the Diamondback game Thursday, and we'll be at the Cardinal-Seahawks game Thursday night. So watch our Instagram. We'll be posting some videos and some pictures of our day full of sports. But thank you guys for listening to our podcast. This is our 4th episode, and we're going to continue to make more weekly with episodes dropping on Wednesday. So watch out for it. Give us a follow, give us a rating, give us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so we can get our name out there. And the ratings and reviews show us that people are actually listening. So it gives us much love, and it gives us a smile on our faces when people rate and review. But also go ahead and follow us on our Sports Hive Instagram page because that's where you're going to get a lot of updates and such. So thank you so much for listening to us, and we'll see you guys next week.